Hi students, welcome to our SSV coaching class, SSV Spoken English Training, Computers and Competitive Exam Coaching Center. ಸೊ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರೆಲ್ಲ ಎಸ್ ಎಸ್ ಎಲ್ ಸಿ ಓದ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರೋ ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮ ಎಸ್ ಎಸ್ ವಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಸ್ ಎಸ್ ಟಿ ಪಾಸಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ಯಾಕೇಜ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಎಸ್ ಎಲ್ ಸಿ ಮತ್ತು ಪಿ ಯು ಸಿ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಯಾರು ಇನ್ನೂ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲೋ ಅವರು ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ನಾವು ಲೆಟಸ್ ಗೋ ಫಾರ್ ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ಪಿ ಯು ಸಿದು. ಸೊ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು 1.1 ಲೆಸನ್ ಓದಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ. ಇವಾಗ 1.2 ಸ್ಕೋಪ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸೈಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ. ಓಕೆ, we can get some idea of the scope of physics by looking at its various subdisciplines. Basically, there are two domains of interest, macroscopic and microscopic. The macroscopic domain includes phenomena at the laboratory, terrestrial and astronomical scales. The microscopic domain includes atomic, molecular and nuclear phenomena. Classical physics deals mainly with the macroscopic phenomena and includes subjects like mechanics, electrodynamics, optics and thermodynamics. Mechanics, founded on Newton's laws of motion and the law of gravitation, is concerned with the motion for equilibrium of particles, rigid and deformable bodies, and general systems of particles. The propulsion of a rocket by a jet of ejecting gases, propagation of water waves or sound waves in air, the equilibrium of a bent rod under a load, etc., are problems of mechanics. Electrodynamics deals with the electric and magnetic phenomena associated with charged and magnetic bodies. Its basic laws were given by Coulomb, Oersted, Ampere and Faraday, and encapsulated by Maxwell in his famous set of equations. The motion of a current carrying conductor in a magnetic field, the working of an antenna, the propagation of radio waves in the ionosphere, etc., are problems of electrodynamics. Optics deals with the phenomena involving light. The working of telescopes and microscopes, colors exhibited by thin films, etc., are topics in optics. Thermodynamics, in contrast to mechanics, does not deal with the motion of bodies as a whole. Rather, it deals with systems in macroscopic equilibrium and is concerned with the changes in internal energy, temperature, entropy, etc. of the system through external work and transfer of heat. The efficiency of heat engines or refrigerators, the direction of a physical or a chemical process, etc., are problems of interest in the thermodynamics. The microscopic domains of physics deals with the constitution and the structure of matter at the minute scales of atoms and nuclei, and even lower scales of length, and their interaction with different probes such as the electrons, photons and other elementary particles. Classical physics is inadequate to handle this domain, and quantum theory is currently accepted as the proper framework for explaining microscopic phenomena. Overall, the edifice of physics is beautiful and imposing, and you will appreciate it more as you pursue the subject. So you can now see that the scope of physics is truly vast. It covers a tremendous range of magnitude of physical quantities like length, mass, time, energy, etc. At one end, it studies phenomena at the very small scale of length, that is 10 to power minus 14 meter or even less, including electrons, protons, etc. At the other end, it deals with the astronomical phenomena at the scale of galaxies or even the entire universe whose extent is of the order of 10 to power 26 meter. The two length scales differ by a factor of 10 to power 40 or even more. The range of time scales can be obtained by dividing the length scales by the speed of light, that is 10 to power minus 22 seconds to 10 to power 18 seconds. The range of masses goes from say 10 to power minus 30 kg mass of an electron to 10 to power 55 kg mass of known observable universe. Terrestrial phenomena lie somewhere in the middle of this range. So here in this diagram we can say that is the theory and experiment go hand in hand in the physics and help each other progress. The alpha scattering experiment of Rutherford gave the nuclear model of atom. So the diagram is here. This is called lead block, and here polonium sample atom is kept here. Then these are the particles, alpha particles scattering, and it is entering to the gold foil, or you can say gold sheet, and the particles are alpha and beta gamma radiations are scattering. We call it as scattering. The angle of scattering it is, that is called fluorescent screen, we can say. Is a flash of light, then microscope. So this is the simple diagram explanation, and you might have learnt in your classes. Okay, now I'll go for the next para, that is physics is exciting in many ways. To some people, the excitement comes from the elegance and universality of its basic theories. From the fact that a few basic concepts and laws can explain phenomena covering a large range of magnitude of physical quantities. To some others, the challenge in carrying out imaginative new experiments to unlock the secrets of nature to verify or refute theories is thrilling. Applied physics is equally demanding. Application and exploitation of physical laws to make useful devices is the most interesting and exciting part, and requires great ingenuity and persistence of effort. What lies behind the phenomenal progress of physics in the last few centuries? Great progress usually accompanies changes in our basic perceptions. First, it was realized that for scientific progress, only qualitative thinking, though no doubt important, is not enough. Quantitative measurement is central to the growth of science, especially physics, because the laws of nature happen to be expressible in precise mathematical equations. The second most important insight was that the basic laws of physics are universal. The same laws apply in widely different contexts. Lastly, the strategy of approximation turned out to be very successful. Most observed phenomena in daily life are rather complicated manifestations of the basic laws. Scientists recognize the importance of extracting the essential features of a phenomenon from its less significant aspects. It is not practical to take into account all the complexities of a phenomenon in one go. A good strategy is to focus first on the essential features, discover the basic principles, and then introduce corrections to build a more refined theory of a phenomenon. For example, a stone and a feather dropped from the same height do not reach the ground at the same time. The reason is that the essential aspect of the phenomenon, namely free fall under gravity, is complicated by the presence of air resistance. To get the law of free fall under gravity, it is better to create a situation wherein the air resistance is negligible. We can, for example, Let us let the stone and the feather fall through a long evacuated tube. In that case, the two objects will fall almost at the same rate, giving the basic law that